Welcome to the Fifth Quarter Podcast. My name's Evan Amberkey,
And I'm Kylan Marsh.
And I'm Ben Spicer.
and let's talk
Let's
ball.
talk ball.
Sweet, man. We got Ben Spicer in the pod. It's good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
course.
thank you for coming on. How you been?
Good,
Overall.
good. I just moved back to Ohio in December from Florida, so a
Heck
little
yeah.
cold. Not really used to
Yeah.
the snow, but I'm adjusting pretty good.
Yeah, I heard you guys had a lot of snow. On the other
Yeah.
side, we have fire, so it's a
Right,
little bit of
right.
mixtures of both.
Yeah.
We're all going through it here.
We
All going
literally
through it.
are, yeah. But now we're glad to have you. You want to explain kind of what you do, introduce yourself to our fans?
Absolutely. So I've worked in sports media since 2017, and kind of even then. Back in college, I went to Shawnee State for 2 years and then transferred to the University of Louisville. So I did some work, for student newspapers, TV stations in Louisville, stuff like that. Kind of an accident, really, how I got into sports media. I was just going to do news and basic video production. Had an internship lined up. I wasn't able to get it because I hadn't taken any video production classes. I was self-taught, so
Right.
they didn't improve me. So I ended up having to take a summer video class. Went into the class. It was one of my favorite professors. Shout out to Dr. Merkel. He kind of knew I was upset, I guess. So he was asking
Yeah.
what's wrong. I was like, man, I don't really want to be here. Like I had an internship I was excited
Yeah.
about. They wouldn't approve me. He's like, well, you like sports, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how would you like to work for WLKY in Louisville? Like, I know the sports director. I'm like,
Yeah.
shoot, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just kind of fell in love with it from there. So
Yeah.
ended up doing some sports commentary in college. Out of college, I started a job at UNXT Radio in
Yep.
Portsmouth, and then also
Yep.
worked for the Daily Times.
Yep.
From there, I've made several stops. I was talking with you before we started. I've moved to Dallas, lived in Florida as well. So just kind of done a lot of different things along the way. I think
Yeah.
technically I have like 3 or 4 jobs right now.
Hey,
so
there
it's
you go.
kind of a grind, but it's
Yeah.
fun and I enjoy it. So can't complain,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's what
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool, man. And I know we were talking. Yeah, you're from. I know you're from Portsmouth, right? I know you lived in Ashland a little bit.
Greenup County.
Greenup County. Okay, but you did a lot of work out in Portsmouth. I know. You did some stuff for media for my dad a little bit here and there. You went to some of the games. But now I know you also said you were a part of Florida State for a while. You got to experience a little bit of the college side of the ball. How was that? Overall, was it a good experience getting to see all these cool players? Or what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, it was kind of again like a fate thing, I guess. Like I
Yeah.
had a friend who sent me a job, so I worked for War Chant, which is the On3 Florida State affiliate. And I had someone, I don't know if you guys know this, but I went to Louisville, like I said, so I don't like UK.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I had a friend send me a job, and it was with KSR, which is like the UK radio guys or whatever.
right.
So I applied for that, ended up not getting it, but the Florida State people saw my application, and they reached out and they were like, hey, I know it's not what you applied for, but would you be interested? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I ended up doing that, and I kind of helped remotely behind the scenes for like a year and a half. They had something open up. They asked if I'd be interested in moving down to Tallahassee. So I said,
Gotcha.
yeah, absolutely. So, I went to a lot of practices. The team was not very good, but
Yeah,
it was cool, seeing all those guys that'll play in the NFL one day. I know they didn't have a lot of NFL
Right.
players on that team, but there'll be a few guys, and
Mhm.
just being around, Doak Campbell's a historic college football venue, so just getting the chance to go there.
Yeah.
Got the chance to see the baseball team make their run to Omaha, softball team, did some basketball stuff too. So
Okay.
it was pretty cool. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a lot, and but ultimately things didn't work out as far as living in Tallahassee, so I ended up coming back a
Yeah.
little closer to home, and I still help them out. I think
Right.
they'll be much improved this year, but it was fun. It was a good experience, and getting the chance to work for a Power 4 school was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Nah, man, that's really cool. That's what from Ohio, getting those kind of opportunities. I mean, it's cool that you're able to experience it, or from Green Up. That's
Yeah,
cool
small
getting to
town
go around.
kids.
Hey, small
Yeah.
town, that's what me and him, we're trying to start up ourselves, and getting to
Absolutely.
reach out to someone like you, tons of experience. I mean, I know I see you all the time making some cool stuff on Facebook, and while we're talking about it, make sure you guys check out his. I know you guys you have a Facebook, right? What else do you
Yeah.
you run anything else
Yeah.
on your side?
So I have Spiced Up Productions. That's kind of the business. I've got
Okay.
the shirt here, but I don't spend a lot of time. Like I told you guys, I have a lot of stuff going on
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I post, and I've mainly just been posting on the Instagram
There you
lately.
go.
I'm
I'll
kind of
say,
old,
yeah.
guys, so I
I'll
don't do the
say,
TikTok
I'll have to
post on
have
there.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll have to have you
absolutely,
send me all your links and I'll put it down
for
for
sure.
everyone while they watch. They can click on it, after the stream. But I'll let Kylan ask you some questions that he wrote for you.
Yeah. So like you said, you started in what, 2017?
20.
2017. So like, what is like the best advice you could give us with like your experience?
I would say try and learn and take on as many things as you can. So when I got into it, I was very video centric. I love to write. That was kind of my passion. But newspapers unfortunately are kind of a dying thing in today's
Hmm.
world. That's just
Yeah.
the reality of it. So I kind of realized that early on and adapted to that. So social media has kind of taken over. I've kind of prided myself, like for the longest time, I refused to do reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I would not edit vertically like when I made videos. I just
Yeah.
refused to do it. And then the first time I ever did that, I did a video on like Texas high school football stadiums, and it got like 250,000
Well,
views.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Okay, like maybe I should do this.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think I
think
remember
just
seeing
having that
that.
adaptability, because technology changes so much, man. Even since we were all kids, or even a year ago. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
an ever changing environment. So I would say just try and learn as many things as you can, and then also don't be afraid to like adapt as things change.
I think I remember seeing that reel because you had a drone, right, or something over the
Yeah, yeah.
stadium. Yeah, I saw
That was
that
your
one. That
first
was
one?
sick. That was
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. So I would post videos, but you know how like when you're watching reels, they have like the black bars on the screen or
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
So like I didn't want to edit them to make it to where it covered the whole screen, and then I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll try it, and
Yeah.
I did, and it did really well. So I was like, okay, maybe I should have been doing this the whole time.
You're like, where has this been? Why haven't I
Right?
done this? No, yeah, I saw that one. That was a sick. I might have to throw on a clip of that if I can put that on there.
Yeah. I
That's a
can send it to you.
sick
Yeah.
video. Like he has a guy. I don't know if you've seen that, Colin, but he like goes over
Mhm.
to the stadium. It's like a cool montage.
And the stadiums
Yeah.
there are just insane, guys. I
Oh,
mean, it's
dude.
it's ridiculous. Being
And
a
that's
small
a
town kid, like
What stadium was
yeah.
it over? Was it over Texas, you said?
there's some high school stadiums in the Dallas area. I can't remember which one specifically it was, but there's like a bunch of like $50+ million stadiums in Texas. Like it's just,
That's
My
you know what I
insane.
mean? It's
gosh.
crazy to see. I
That
mean, we
is
have some good
crazy.
stadiums. We are blessed. Like we do have some good
Yeah.
stadiums around where we're from, but
Yeah.
these are like college
Yeah.
level stadiums.
Yeah.
Like low
Gives me
level
yeah.
FBS teams don't have stadiums and
No,
stuff.
no.
It's ridiculous.
Like we Northwest got a new field. Valley, Williamsburg. They all have good turf fields. But when I
Yeah.
saw that, I'm like, that's a high school stadium.
Yeah.
Like there's no shot.
It's
It's
crazy.
pretty crazy. It blew
That
my
is.
mind.
So I'll go on and move to what I got for you. So what's some future plans with sports analytics or sports commentating that you plan on doing? Something maybe you can share? You got some interesting stuff coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my jobs I work with is a company called DR Sports. So they're over the DR7. We do a lot of 7-on-7 football tournaments around the country. And so this is year 4 of working with them. So it's pretty cool. I get to travel, all around the Southeast. We have a tournament coming up this coming weekend in Florida. So I get the chance to warm up a little bit, thankfully.
Yeah.
One thing that we're going to be doing this year is a lot more live streams and shows. So I'll get to host those and also be the lead commentator for that. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
We've had a lot of insane athletes come through our circuit, like Travis Hunter, my first year, came to one of our tournaments. So we've seen pretty
Dang.
elite athletes over the years. So it's been
Dang.
kind of cool to watch them and see them grow and develop and stuff. And yeah, he was
That's
as
crazy.
advertised. I remember
Yeah.
going over to his field, and it's like if you've seen like elite athletes play, like it just looks like they're not even
Yeah.
trying,
No.
and it looked like he wasn't even trying, and he was just
Yeah.
destroying everyone.
That's insane.
Dude, I saw clips of him in high school. Like, I forget who the YouTube channel. The guy always goes and like does like sidelines of high school
Yeah.
games. Probably what I'm talking about. It's the one guy
Yeah.
that's always popular. And I saw Travis Hunter's like clips. I'm like, dude, and that you didn't see that in person's insane.
Yeah,
That's actually
yeah.
crazy.
It was ridiculous. I remember he had I didn't get over there until like halfway through the game, but he had this route. He ran a fade route and caught it over this kid, and his teammates come out and they got him like a barber chair and threw like a robe over him and like acted like they were
No
giving him
shot.
a fade. Gordon, why am I not recording this?
dude. That would be a good
That's
little
insane.
montage to get some
But yeah, it
views
was
so
on.
funny.
cool. Yeah.
Have you got to interact with him any, or like was it kind
No.
of just you just saw it from
No,
afar?
I didn't
Kinda?
get to, but I mean, I have gotten a chance to work with and interview some kids over the years that have kind of, but no, unfortunately, I didn't get the
Yeah,
chance
yeah.
to talk with Travis.
Nah, I just figured that'd be insane if you got to talk to him. I would have been like, that's wild. But it's still crazy. You got to see him in person. He's gonna be a crazy NFL athlete. I think. Me and Kyle talked about that a couple pods ago. I think like his
Yeah.
potential. Playing both sides of the ball is insane, and
Yeah,
just
it
being
really
able
is.
to go on offense and just run a crazy route after you just play defense. I forget, what does he play on defense? Is it
He plays corner.
Corner? Yeah, that's insane, dude. That's
Jesus.
a
Yeah,
task.
he's insane. I don't know if he'll do it in the NFL though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
no
think he
I
way.
think
can.
that's a whole other
No
level,
way.
man. You gotta stick with one.
Nah,
And
yeah,
he's
there's no
fortunate that he
way.
hadn't got hurt, to be honest, because that's, I mean, that's a toll on your body, making
It
tackles
is.
and then getting tackled. He
Absolutely.
plays like 100 snaps a game. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
And that's what I know. Jamar Chase, as a Bengals fan, he was saying like that guy is one of the craziest athletes we've probably seen come through in a long time. To be able to go, I mean, he's playing D1 college football. Both sides of the ball is actually wild. Like,
Right.
it's insane. But Con, you got another question you can ask him? It's
So
really
I
cool.
was looking through your Facebook and I seen that you're the athletic media coordinator at Shawnee State now. I don't
Yeah.
know if that was recent or older, but what's that like? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's been awesome. So first job I ever had, like I said, Portsmouth Daily Times. My sports editor was my good friend Kevin Cawley. So we worked closely together. We did a weekly show. It was like looking back, like it looked terrible, and that's completely my fault because I didn't know what I was doing. But I remember like we would be in our office and we would record, and like the phone would ring or something would happen, and like we didn't even have mics. Like we're just doing
Yeah.
this little show. We had like a really small banner that I had bought.
Yeah.
It was rough, but I mean, people seemed to love it. It got a ton of
Yeah.
views, and so that kind of inspired me to go down the path that I went down. And Kevin's a big credit to that, right? So he's probably the nicest dude I've ever met. I don't know if you guys know Kevin, but super great guy. He's the sports information director at Shawnee State. So he had kind of reached out. I had talked to him about wanting to come back home several months ago. And, he was ecstatic, and he kind of tried to fight and build a position for me at Shawnee State, and it ended up being that athletics media coordinator position.
Awesome.
Shawnee State, I think, is on the up and up, guys. I think Gerald Cadogan, the AD, he's doing some great things there, and I'm excited. They've got a great vision and got some great coaches and leadership in place. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me, and they were willing to work with all the 6 or 7 other things I have going on. So I mean, hey, I was excited to make it happen, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Man.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, that's just cool. Like, cause it seems like you're just multitasking. You're bouncing around and doing a lot of good works on every spot you can take, which is that's very talented and awesome for you to be able to do that. Because I'm still trying to figure out the podcast. I'm over here still trying to stress about this, and you're over here just doing some crazy things, man. It's pretty cool, But so how long have you been with Shawnee now? You said it's been about a year recently, or
so I think technically it hasn't been a month yet.
Well, okay, my fault.
Since I came back, I think I started the 4th of January, I believe, but I've been to probably 4 or 5 games, and we've got some stuff that's in the works as well.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I think it's going to be exciting times, especially heading into the next school year. I think we'll really be able to take off and do some things there.
Yeah, no, I know going to their basketball games. I mean, Shawnee looks like they're pretty solid. I know basketball just personally. That's mostly what I've been to Shawnee to see a lot of. Their basketball team they had some talented guys when I went down there, and that was 2 years ago maybe. So I know Shawnee's definitely I've been seeing a lot of good things about them recently. So that's cool that you're able to work with them. My next question for you, Ben, is so what's the biggest game that you've gotten to experience while being in the sports industry? Like one that you can just rip off the top of your head.
It was pretty cool to see when I was in Dallas, I got to go to the Texas State Championships, which is just like it's crazy. They played at the Cowboy Stadium. The bigger level games, which I didn't get to go to those. I got to go to the smaller, and I think the 5A was the one I went to. But the next day, the day after that, there's 50,000 people there to watch high school football state championship. So that's probably the easy answer, but I think the answer that I would go with would probably be my first year when I was working in Portsmouth, seeing Wheelersburg's run and them winning that state championship game. That was just a crazy game.
Yeah.
So, how that ended, how that kind of shook out and getting the chance to be there, I think that kind of fueled my love for things. And I think that ultimately, kind of led me to where I am today, because that was a fun experience. It was a cool experience. And, just getting the chance to cover that. I was there with the newspaper, but I also recorded highlights. Mm-hmm. And then I was on the radio too, doing sideline reporting. So I kind of got to experience it from every angle, so it was really cool. Getting to do that. So I think that would probably be my answer. It was just a fun experience, man. That was a special
Yeah.
group.
I can only imagine.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for me. Even me and Kyle, that'd be like a dream come true. I can
Yeah.
only imagine how cool that was for you. So I got another question just came off the top of my head. So the radio, how does that work exactly? I mean, do you like read off like a teleprompter type thing? You just sitting there chatting, like kind of like a podcast, like going over certain topics? You know,
So
is it
when I worked in the radio, I announced games. I didn't have like a show or anything, but I
okay?
would say, like if you did have a show, I would say it would be very like this is how I would approach it, anyways. I'm a big like
Yeah.
script guy, lists, rundown. Like if I don't have all the information in front of me, I'm going to forget
Yep.
something, or I'm
I
going to
feel
go
that.
on a tangent or something like that.
Yeah.
So I would say that's definitely what I would do. But yeah, when I
Gotcha.
worked the radio, I mainly just announced games. So
Okay.
I had in Portsmouth, I had someone with me that would always be at the games. But then I've worked at radio
Yeah.
stations before where it's just been me, and it's weird because you go to a game and you like set up in the corner of the gym and you're basically just talking to yourself for 2 hours.
Yeah,
When you think
I-
about
Yeah.
it. So I'm
That'd be
like, this is
hard.
kind of weird. I'm just in public, just having a conversation with myself. Hopefully, people are listening. I don't know.
That would be kind of hard for me because I definitely like I had Kylan. Me and Kylan's idea was just random to do this, so I can only imagine just sitting at like a kind of like a podcast, but not like a radio station. You get what I'm saying though? Just like kind of
Yeah.
like just talking and trying to make up topics. But no, I could see you doing it. It seems like you got a lot of experience, so you probably grown on it to where it's probably maybe a little bit more normal. If that
Yeah.
makes if that's fair to say.
It was definitely tough at first.
Yeah.
And I've still got work to do. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I
right.
think just that comfortability. I mean, it's crazy to me that you guys would want to talk to me. So I think
No,
the
man.
growth has been there. It's been
Yeah.
really cool. There's definitely more of a comfort level now than when
Yeah.
I first started.
Well, I'll say this on our behalf about you. I remember playing high school sports. Everybody, we know when you'd come to games. That was cool for us. So I mean, it's not like the news, like big time news, Fox
Right.
or anything. But to us, that's it's really cool. So I mean, like I said,
Appreciate
you
it.
know way more than us. We think this is awesome. You're really our first guest. So that's why we're trying to kind of learn and get used to it. But,
Absolutely.
I'll let Kylan take the floor.
Yeah, I got a question. What's your NFL picks?
Ooh,
What do
NFL
you-
picks.
What
Okay.
do you think is gonna happen?
I mean, we were talking about this before we started recording, and I know we all don't want it to happen, but if I'm betting and I don't bet, I'm not a gambler. I'd lose all my money. But it's hard to pick against the Chiefs, guys. I mean, it really is. I don't know what they got going on in Kansas City, some sort of
Yeah.
voodoo magic or something, but I can't pick against them. Now, do I hope they win? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I think
no.
we're all three of us are tired of seeing them. I was hoping the Bengals would make it since
Me
you
too.
guys are kind of their kryptonite. I haven't cared as much since my lines are out. I would love to see, personally, I'd love to see Washington and Buffalo, just so, it's different. I mean, we've seen the Chiefs and Eagles before.
That's my pick. Heck
Do
yeah.
I think that'll happen? I don't know. I think if I had to pick, I would take the Chiefs. And I think Washington will win. I don't think Philadelphia is as good as they're made out to
Okay.
be. But Washington also can't stop the run, and the Eagles have
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley. So we'll see how
Yeah.
it all plays out.
No, that's literally my picks from the
Yeah.
last couple pod. I said I hope for Bills and Washington.
Yeah.
And I literally said if Washington makes it, that'd be one of the greatest runs like
Absolutely.
I would ever
Yeah.
probably seen in my lifetime. For Jane Daniels take the Washington Commanders his first year to the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah,
unreal.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's unreal. So you theoretically have Chiefs for sure going to Super Bowl. You think possibly?
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick, it would be Eagles and Chiefs.
Yeah,
But-
I can see that.
Who do I want to see? I want to see Commanders and
Oh yeah,
Bills for sure.
Yeah, America's
insane
teams.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep. That's America's teams for sure.
Right.
It's America's Super Bowl.
Who'd you have, Con? You had Chiefs and Eagles rematch again, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I have a surprise Eagles one. I'm taking that all the way. Surprise Eagles
that's
win.
that's what I've been saying too. Eagles. I think the Eagles will win it all.
Yep.
They're just offensive. I mean, they're a powerhouse, man.
They
got
are.
everybody they need.
Yeah,
They
that's the
got-
scary thing.
Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. What else you need?
Yeah.
Decent defense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
no.
crazy.
My other question I had was pretty much about you traveling, but you kind of already answered that. I was going to ask, like, where have you traveled, So you said you went Texas, you've been to Florida, you obviously did Ohio, you went around our area a lot. I'm guessing you hit up like West Virginia and Kentucky a good bit as well. similar
West Virginia,
states? Or?
not as much West Virginia.
Okay.
After I left Portsmouth, I worked at My Town TV in Ashland. So I kind of,
For that.
I would say a lot of Southeast travel. That's mainly where DR7 operates
Right.
out of, and then obviously lived in Texas and Florida. I've
Okay.
done a lot of stuff in Georgia, South Georgia, specifically in
Okay.
the last year. So that was pretty cool.
Gotcha.
But yeah, mainly Southeast. But I'd really love to personally. I'd really love to branch out and do a lot more basketball stuff, AAU
Yeah.
basketball stuff like that. Basketball's my favorite sport.
No, I
so,
love basketball.
I'd
Yes.
love to have that opportunity. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
Because summer's kind of my relaxed time.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
if the opportunity was there, it would be hard to turn down. So I love
Absolutely.
basketball. So
No, especially AAU. That'd
Yeah.
be very interesting. AAU basketball is very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Some crazy athletes just rising up, coming up and trying to make it to the big leagues. So I'm not for sure. Do you have another question, Kylan? If not, I got one.
Nah, it's all you, man.
Cool. So let's go down. I also have. So who's the best player you've witnessed or maybe gotten to met? I know you said Travis Hunter. You haven't met him, but you saw him. Any other athletes you could remember that were made it pretty good or?
Oh, there's been some. I'm trying to think of who would be maybe the most prolific that people would know. I got the chance to. So there's a receiver that plays for Houston now, Stephon Boogie Johnson. He had a Hail Mary touchdown. I think it was last year or the year before. I can't remember who they
Yeah.
played. And Houston's kind of struggled a little bit, but I know who it was. Speaking to Boogie, we got the chance to announce a couple games together. That was pretty cool. He was at one of our tournaments, and they had played. I think they had won, and then he came up and announced a couple games because he was kind of
That's awesome.
interested in the media side of things. So that was cool
Yeah.
to see. Ollie Gordon. I got
Oh, that name sounds familiar. Yeah.
the chance to meet him.
Wow.
That's
Oklahoma
awesome.
State running back.
Yeah.
He kind of had a down year this year. I think he
Yeah.
declared for the draft. He's going to
Yeah.
do some big things in the NFL. He was.
Yeah.
I met him on the 7-on-7 side of things.
Yeah.
We did an interview together, just kind of talking about his career, and then he took off. Man, he had a really good sophomore season. I think it
Yeah.
was. Getting a little down this year. Oklahoma State kind of struggled, but
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
going to do some big things in the draft. He's kind of one of those
Yeah.
under the radar running backs.
But yeah, he's dog.
Yeah, that's what. Speaking, you said Ollie Gordon. I was thinking for a second. I'm like, wait a second. When I did sports betting not too long ago, I remember he cashed me out one of my parlays as a running back on fantasy. I had him one
There
day.
you go.
He cashed
Yeah.
me. So if you ever see him, tell him I said thank you.
I got you.
No, I remember. I just all of a sudden there. Wait, that sounds very familiar. When you said Oklahoma State, I'm like, yep, that's the guy. I put money.
There's
on
another
day.
one too. So the basketball side of things, and you guys might know. I don't know if Portsmouth still does this. They used to have an event though, where they would bring in insane teams to come play at Portsmouth, and it was a 1 or 2 day event, and there would be no one there. It was wild. I know there had been a bunch of. I think Miles Bridges played there one year. But
What?
the year after?
What?
So the
What?
year after, Charles Bassey, he plays for the Spurs,
Yeah.
and Lou Dort that plays for. I think he.
Okay,
Thunder?
see. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
So they played against each other, and there was 100 people there watching it. But I filmed it, and that was pretty cool. So I interviewed Charles after, and for some reason he still follows me on Twitter. So that's
Heck
shout
yeah.
out Charles Bassey.
Shout
W.
out.
That's a W Twitter pool. So wait, was that the bat? Was it like a showdown? Was it called a showdown something?
Something like that, yeah. But it was at Portsmouth, and it was random because the team that Bassey played for was from Louisville, and I think the team that Lou Dort was on was from Canada. So I don't know how they.
I want to say
Got
that was the
that?
Hoop Showdown.
Yeah. It was interesting. I think you're right. I think it was the Buckeye Showdown
Or something like that. Dude, I think I remember seeing that, but I didn't know they played there.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll definitely have to, if you have the link to that stuff, we're definitely have to put that in there. That'd be interesting
Absolutely,
to
yeah. I'll have
keep
to
on
see
the
if I can find
stream.
it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I talked with Charles and his coach, and I don't even know if that school exists anymore. But
No,
it
that's
was pretty cool at the
insane.
time.
That's crazy to
No.
think about.
especially the Twitter having that on there. That's pretty cool. Nah, that's definitely awesome. So I have a couple more. Do you ever plan to do a podcast or kind of like this to grow audience, or is that you wouldn't really touch it or?
I've thought about it before, and I've kind of done some things with it. I've had some shows in the past, but
Okay.
some things have happened, and they've unfortunately gotten deleted.
Yeah.
Just nothing on my part,
Mhm.
But so that kind of sucked. So
Yeah.
I have thought about pursuing that, for my own channel and stuff.
Gotcha.
Definitely something I want to do. I thought about doing this last year, and I just didn't get around to it. But
Yeah.
speaking of Ollie and some of those guys that I've gotten to see and know on the 7-on-7 circuit, I thought it would be fun. With
Yeah.
College Football 25 coming back,
Yeah,
to play them online and then do like a
that'd be
podcast like
sick.
interview type while we're playing the game. I
That
thought
would
that
be
would be
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be
So
cool.
that might be something I explore and do
Nah,
next
yeah.
year maybe. So or
I
this
think
year,
that'd
I
get
guess.
you a lot of views.
That'd be awesome.
That'd get you a lot of people would love to see that. I know me personally, I'd watch it. That'd be
So we'll see. I've definitely thought about it and considered it though. But
yeah.
yeah.
Well, gameplay stuff like that, like streaming a gameplay, and especially if you have some awesome, like amazing players with you, I know that's like a big thing. Like I know Travis Hunter did that. They played college football. I don't know what streamer did it with them, but they had him hop on and they made like crazy views off that. So that'd be.
That's awesome.
And I was telling Kyle, man, whenever you want to hop on, dude, feel free. You're definitely more than us, and it's definitely cool having you on. Also, one more I got for you is: do you have any advice to people who want to do sports like as a career or hobby? I know Kylan kind of asked a similar question.
Yeah. I would say, again, just putting yourself out there. I mean, you never know who you're going to meet, obviously. It was kind of crazy to think back to that Portsmouth event, for example.
Yeah.
And, you've got two guys that are playing the NBA now, and, Lou Dort's a pretty good player. Charles Bassey gets good minutes too. So
Yeah.
that's kind of surreal. I would say just make relationships too, man, because you never know. Who's going to be successful down the road or who can help you out down the road. I've had a lot of people that I've met in college, that I don't want to say you forgot about, but maybe you fall out and you lose touch with, and, years later they hit you up. Hey, would you be interested in doing this? Or, hey, we need this, can you help? And I've gotten a lot of cool opportunities from that. So I would say just, put yourself out there as much as you can, and you never really know, what's going to help you evolve and elevate. I would just say that's probably the biggest thing. And then again, like just learn to do as many things as you can.
No, absolutely.
Video obviously is very big, and that's something I'm passionate about. But writing is super important in the fact that anything that you do, you're going to have to write, whether it be a script, whether it be interview questions, whether it be articles. So writing's kind of the core thing.
Yep.
For all of this, and anytime someone asks me that question, that's kind of my answer is writing. And some people are like, you don't, but I think it's important, and I think it's been a big part of my success is
absolutely
being a good writer.
No, I mean, that's a great advice. That's what you talked about, getting cool players. I know me and Connor getting the chance we have a friend. So we went to Italy like 2 years ago, and we went to this small town because I don't know if you heard of Federico Lentini. It's one of our friends. Yeah. So he was out in Northwest for a while. And so we got linked up with a guy that plays Gonzaga basketball now.
Nice.
I actually got to go to a game. I don't know if you saw the pictures I got posted with him. We're gonna get to do a podcast with him, and awesome. I think he's gonna end up being a starter for Gonzaga, and I think he has potential to make the leagues. I mean, I know Kylan can speak on him, but Emmanuel. Oh no, you're good. Emmanuel is a dog, and that was our big step, is getting to him as well. He's surreal, and he's built like he has an insane build.
He's
huge.
It's insane.
And he's quick.
I haven't seen him recently at the Gonzaga UCLA game.
Yeah,
he just looked even bigger than the last time we seen him, and he was already huge.
Yeah.
He's athlete, dude.
Yeah, that UCLA showdown game was surreal, dude. That was a really tight game, and he got put in like in a pretty crucial spot, and he got hit with a shoulder right in the face, and they called it what was it? They called it I think it was they called it
a blocking.
What they call it was a blocking? Yeah, I think it was blocking. Yeah, and so that kind of got him at the end. And it came down to where Nembhard, the one that plays for his brother that plays for the Pacers now, he took a crazy drive into the lane, got a and one. Well, no, he took it. I can't remember if he made it or missed it. He made it, and then he had to make the free throw to tie it because they were down 3, and he missed the free throw. And they lost, and it was a battle. And that was an Intuit Dome, and that stadium, I already talked about how crazy it was. Seeing him play there is just crazy.
Yeah,
the new
Gonzaga's an elite program too, man. I know they're kind of like considered a mid-major, but they've been around since I was a kid watching basketball in the late '90s. Yeah, and that coach, they've had the same coach over the years. But a lot of good players have come through that program. So that's pretty cool for you guys to have the opportunity to know and network with someone that's on that team.
Yeah, that's what it'd be cool if we could get Nembhard on a podcast. Could you imagine that?
Dude, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Maybe
I'm already a Pacers fan, dude.
There you go.
And I love Andrew Nembhard. I'd love to talk to his brother, man. That'd be awesome.
Maybe you can see what Emmanuel can do for us. Maybe you can hop on for like a good 10 minutes. That'd be insane. But no, that's pretty much all I got for questions for Ben. I don't know if you have anything for him, Kylan. Anything else?
No, I pretty much asked everything.
Yeah, but not. Ben, you got anything you want to share about your channel to get your name on here?
Yeah, I haven't posted a lot on my main Spiced Up Productions page recently. I've kind of shifted around July. You know, we're talking about the gaming thing. So I have a good friend who convinced me to start streaming video games and
There you go.
doing content about video games. So I have a channel, Spiced Up Gaming, that
Okay.
I've put a lot of time and energy in. So I
Yeah.
think I would like to promote that
Yeah.
more than the Spiced Up Productions channel. But if you're feeling
Gotcha.
generous and you want to check both of them out, I would
Yeah.
complain.
That's
But
what.
I do some live streams. I'm actually going to live stream tonight. I started a team builder dynasty, so
There you go.
Vice Tech will be starting things up tonight
yeah.
with them, and
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. But
No,
that's
what
all I
I'll do
got
when I
there.
edit it, I'll put your logo up here. You can put your gaming. We'll also do your other Spice up. I usually put when I edit, I put everyone's stuff that we have on. So
Nice.
definitely make sure you check out Ben's stuff. We really appreciate your time, man. I mean, you didn't have to do this. So
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
I mean,
you.
like you said that you have like 6 other jobs right now, and you
Yeah.
still find a way to get on this podcast with us. It means a lot, man.
yeah, it really does, man.
Well,
And we
hey,
appreciate.
keep doing your thing.
Yeah,
Like I said, if there's ever anything I can do to help, I definitely don't hesitate to reach out. And
absolutely.
appreciate you guys having me for sure.
Yeah, no, and like I said, thank you for everything. Thank you for also do what you did back in Scioto County, man. You do a lot of good works out there. People appreciate what you do, so it means a lot to everybody. And so yeah, I'll leave it at that. Make sure you guys go to our store, go to Spotify, hit about, and we have some links there. And then we'll also have Ben's stuff under the description for this video. We can put his links in there so you guys can check out. Even if his pod's on tonight, not his pod, his live stream, kick that up tonight. We'll have to check in on that. I'll be free. So
Awesome. Appreciate it. fellas.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one, and let's talk ball.
Peace.